Hi, this is Luke for Production Expert. When it comes to creative panning, we can automate to give some movement, but that can be a bit time consuming and can also sound a bit cyclic and predictable. Today I'm going to show you how to use Energy Panner and Brightness Panner from the Sound Particles Panner collection. So here's my track, it sounds like this. So I've got a 909 style drum machine and a pad that I want to add some movement to. So whichever DAW you're in, you can draw it in. I'm using the triangle pencil tool in mine. Just do a bit of that. You can make it wider or narrow it down like that. Let's just make it a bit obvious. That would sound like this. If that was sounding a bit slow, then I could change my grid value, do the same thing again. So a little bit too chaotic there. I could even go and get my random tool if I wanted to. But again, not very controllable. You never quite know what you're going to end up with. So instead I'm going to use Sound Particles Energy Panner to get some movement into that high pass filtered drum part. Okay, so this is before and without. I'll just knock that in for you. So we can configure where the panning starts and where it ends using the start movement controls over here, and also we've got some compressor style threshold and ratio controls here. Very nice. And then we've also got these time constants which are linkable. Let's get it to do something a little bit more. There we go. So that's slower, obviously, and faster, so we can make it a bit more frantic. We'll have to tweak our ratio, and we can even dial in a little bit of dry versus wet. I also really like this sliding mode. What that does is it doesn't park your sound source in a particular place, it just keeps going, and I like that. We also got this, I'll just speed that up a little bit. Quite interesting effects there. If you click this random button, that can also, it just gives you random settings, gives some inspiration, stuff that you can build on. Very glitchy, so that might be good with some dry dial back in. Let's hear it in context. Just do it a little bit more wet. So maybe a bit extreme, I'll just go again. And then back to my presets. So I'm quite happy with that. So level dependent panning on the hi-hat there from Energy Panner. Next up we've got the pad part, and this time I want the panning to change according to the brightness, or the filter cutoff in this case in my synth, of my sound source. So this is what my source sounds like. Just solo that up for you. Here's a little patch that I dialed in, this is what it sounds like. And again, I'm using the sliding setting. I just like the way that it moves the sound source around, but you can see exactly what's going on. Of course, it's calibrated in front to back. That's because you can use this for surround workflows as well, but Brightness Panner works just as well for stereo for music applications too. Slightly different control down at the bottom. We have the moving dot, which is our sound source, and then we've also got our window as well that the plugin is working within. So you can get some pretty nuts effects like that. You've got the pan mode as well, so it will stop the source just like with the Energy Panner, and then we can adjust our window using these frequency controls here. So in this case I want to adjust the window just so that it's covering the whole spectrum of my source. Again, you've got some time constants, and you can also mix it up using the random button. But I'm quite happy with my setting, so I'm just going to put that back. then listen to it in context. So that is using Sound Particles Panner Collection to add creative movement to your music. Quicker, easier and less robotic than automating your panning. To find out more and to read our full article, head over to the Production Expert blog.